As a patient representative, I have the opportunity to review clinical research study protocols linked to my field of expertise, particularly in France at INSERM and at the European level with EMA. It is very interesting because my reading grid is that of a user of the health system and a patient who is interested in both the form and the substance of these studies, excluding the technical and scientific aspects. In terms of form, this means checking that the consent documents are understandable to patients or their relatives. In terms of substance, it means assessing the patient's comfort and ensuring that, where appropriate, the patient's voice is heard through relevant PROMs. For example, we know that measuring the impact of treatments on patients' quality of life is important. But is it relevant to add the ISF-36 questionnaire to all the studies? Should this type of questionnaire be self-administered or not? Is it specific enough in rare diseases? In clinical trials, the role of PROMs is essential and corresponds to a part of human sciences that has long been neglected. Indeed, it makes no sense to evaluate a new treatment or a new care modality without assessing the impact of the patient's quality of life. For example, if a new molecule improves the score of few percentiles on a scale, but the patient's life is not improved at all, what is the real point of the treatment? It is, however, interesting to note that some research laboratories have understood the importance of involving patient experts early on in the design of their studies. Many studies had to be abandoned precisely because the presumed relevant measurement tools were not. PROM should also be further developed in the follow-up of treated patients linked to the regulatory agencies. Thus, often, once the treatment is on the market, the follow-up of pharmacovigilance is complex and involves different actors. It is not uncommon to have to wait years for data to emerge that should or could have emerged much earlier to show the efficacy or the side effects of a drug. There is indeed a huge amount of work involved in collecting information from patients on the tolerance of treatments as well as on their short, medium, and long-term effects. This is the same logic for the approval and the follow-up of drugs by regulatory agencies. A treatment shouldn't be brought to market on the basis only of subjective data, alone scientific data disconnected from the patient's reality. It is essential to use the patient's view with PROMs. The example of the gene therapy is interesting. These extremely costly treatments require all stakeholders to work together to obtain a marketing authorization. In this case, it is essential to take into account the opinion of the whole community concerned, the health systems, of course, but also the clinicians, the patients, and the pharmaceutical laboratories, which must be able to demonstrate the real benefit for the patient in terms of mortality, improvement in quality of life over time, but also the potential risk of developing secondary diseases. This is also essential not only from the patient's point of view of the sustainability of public and private health systems, to accurately analyze the effects of these innovative treatments.